My favorite thing about the Tantra immersion is the phases in the beginning of the immersion and after.
When people end the retreat, they're normally very happy and their heart is open and they feel more confident.
I like this immersion a lot because I feel it gives quite a wide idea of the ground base of Tantra, and without it being too complicated but also not too simple. So I feel we really put together something that is quite beautiful and works very well for everybody who has been attending so far. Hi everybody, very nice talking to you today. We want to give you a little insight, a little intro to our Tantra Immersion Retreat, which is one of the retreats that we've been doing for the longest and is kind of always a winner for the people. So we just want to, give you a chance to get to know us and also to understand a little bit what this program is about.
As Blandine mentioned, we have been giving this workshop now since 2016, so almost 8 years, 4, 5, 6 groups a year, 1,000, 2,000 people passed, and every time we get feedback from the people, you'll have little feedback cards, and we continue to improve it so that it's very, very loyal to the traditional Tantra, but it's also accessible, understandable, and relevant for people in today's world. Tantra is the path of bringing spirituality into life. There are people who are not interested in spirituality just in the regular social material world. There are others who want to walk spirituality, but they want to go as far as possible from the world. And there are people who want to integrate spirituality and daily life together. And this is somehow why Tantra was conceived.
Tantra, of course, is a word that has been around for a while. It has been more known than understood for real. What we want to first of all make clear is that what we are practicing is traditional Tantra. Contrary to maybe some other popular Tantra events, you will not get any kind of sleazy, let's all get naked and flirt and rub on each other. It's not what this retreat is about. So kindly, if you expect that, you will be very disappointed. Instead, what our focus is about is the heart. So we wish for you to have a very heart-based experience. And of course, this will be quite individual for each of you in accordance with your needs. There will be some of us that will be much more outgoing and celebrative, so to say. And for you, the exercises that we do in an integrative way, they will be beautiful. So we do these moments where we come from heart to heart, from soul to soul together, just for maybe a hug or for a soulful greeting or for a moment of contemplating the consciousness, things like this that we experience together with another person. One of the all-time favorites is the Angel's Walk. It's like a just beautiful outpouring of love for each other, very angelic, very pure and sweet. So for the more extroverted participants, this is usually where it gets really interesting for you, where you have the experience of the tantric principles that we will be teaching in the lectures throughout the day in a very fulfilling and very full, very juicy version of that for you to experience. For those of you that are a little bit more introverted and you are wishing more for an internalized experience, sure, with like-minded people around and with a willingness to connect, but being more on a journey for seeking for your soul, seeking for yourself. For you, the yoga practice will be wonderful, the meditation practices that we'll be doing every day. And of course, there's lots and lots of time that you just simply have to yourself. You'll have like a 3 to 4 hour midday break where you can just simply enjoy the pool, enjoy the nature, sit under the mango trees and just read a book or contemplate the sky. And have it, of course, still also be a bit of a rejuvenating, I don't want to say holiday experience, maybe a little bit, but like a spiritual holiday that is very fulfilling for the soul, but also has these resting times in between and nourishes you in the same time with knowledge and experiences that we'll share together.
A lot of the immersion is about the wonderful heartful connection that are created. There is an environment created both from this ashram that had only spiritual events since the moment it was built, And through the activities, there is a space that is safe and beautiful and heartful, and so we can create connections in the dining and next to the pool, and friendships are made, and a new, an elevated way of relating to people, and it's very fulfilling, very beautiful. And we can see how, as the days passed, people's hearts open. In the first day that we ring the bell to start the lecture, everybody's quiet. By the third or fourth day, have to ring the bell a few times because they can't stop talking to each other, because there's so much life and liveliness in the air.
How can you imagine a day to unfold within the immersion? So we'll usually get up around 8 and do some good yoga and meditation. We'll then have some breakfast to nourish ourselves and to look at the beautiful mountain. And then we'll have our midday lecture, followed by an integrative exercise. So we'll always match up the lecture with the exercise. So the exercise will be able to give you an experience of what we just talked about. And then we'll have a longer break for lunch and for resting and pool and all these good things. And the afternoon session then consists of another lecture and then yoga session with meditation. Evening break, and then in the night, usually around 8 or so, we will have another hour and a half together where we can do our questions and answers and have a bit more of a connective time together, dance together in a conscious way, and have these beautiful moments like Angel's Walk and the alike, so that we can somehow finalize the day on a high note, but also in a relaxed and more playful, more social way somehow. Throughout the retreat, you will see that we will gradually develop from a bit of an intro to Tantra in the first day, with understanding some of the ground principles, and then going gradually into understanding one of the very big principles in Tantra, which is polarity, speaking about the masculine, feminine consciousness and energy balances within the universe. The third day we will dedicate to the big subject of Eros, because of course it is a very important energy in our being and necessary to be integrated well. Don't worry, there's nothing sleazy going on even in that day. We'll find ways to have beautiful experiences together without it getting weird. And then the fourth day we dedicate fully to the heart, and usually that's kind of the peak experience of the retreat. Everybody's floating on clouds because of course the heart brings all the best out of us, all the compassion and empathy and beautiful connections. On the fifth day we'll float on into the more spiritual heights. So once the heart is really charged, it's typically much more easy to actually dedicate more to what is consciousness in itself, meditation, the soul, the spiritual path, and kind of really bring you to that high end of Tantra that has been known in the Hindus Valley and in the old Kashmirian Shaivism and so forth. And then in the sixth day, we conclude everything and make sure that you can bring the immersion with you to day-to-day life, because of course we'll be speaking a lot of quite universal principles, but we want to make it very concrete and practical for you. And then as you go into your life, you can bring your practices, your knowledge, the things that were important to you in an integrated way. A few words also about our Hatha Yoga practice that we will do throughout the retreat. It will be very much focused on becoming aware. So it's a slow practice. Don't expect power yoga or something like that. Nothing wrong with that, but we will not implore it in this retreat because the effects from just becoming very, very aware, very conscious as we practice yoga actually allow to reflect a lot of the principles that we are talking about throughout the retreat to really crystallize and really come to its fullest within you.
The yoga practice, together with being very conscious and meditative, as Blandine mentions, is also quite intense energetically, and it is aimed to shift our emotional states using the bodily postures. So some positions create a state of love, others of confidence, others of vitality, others of focus. So we will guide you throughout the practice how to focus, where to focus. So it's a proper initiation into a profound and efficient, a tantric way of practicing Hatha Yoga.
And the kind of meditation that we will be doing is a very simple heart-based meditation. So we will be watching our breath and centering within the heart, just to give you a quick overview of it. And it's basically a meditation that allows you to become very quiet at the level of the mind while also energizing the heart. And this balance of the heart and the mind is somehow known to be a pillar within the Tantric practice. The Tantric has a quiet mind and an open heart.
About us, we have been walking the path for 20 years plus, living in ashrams basically throughout these 20 years and dedicating all our lives to our own individual practice, a good number of hours a day, a lot of period of silent retreats, and a lot of teaching, building karma yoga. We co-founded this ashram, Integral Yoga Center, Amrita, and Mahasiddha Yoga. And we're both psychologists, and we aim to integrate some of the notions of science in general and of psychology, particularly in this Tantra immersion.
We also invite you, if you wish to do so, to join us in time for immersion program number 2, module 3. There are kind of endless possibilities to speak more about Tantra. We've been repeating the number 2 and 3 already a few times, so look out on our yearly schedule if maybe you can match it up to do a few of these modules. And you can also enjoy the Tantra immersion online. You could do it either by yourself. There's one version for single practice, and there's also a couple version. So if you are with a beloved or with a friend, and then doing the exercises together, which of course will be more powerful. So that's another option for you if you want to. So we hope very much that this gives you a bit of an overview of what the Tantra immersion is all about. And if it's for you, if you feel interested, if you feel that it could be a match for you, we hope very much to see you here in Amrita Integral Yoga Center in Thailand. And until then, we wish you all the best. See you then.
Bye-bye.
Want to add anything?
No.